Good afternoon, members and members of the public. We'll call to order the Committee on Jobs and Economic Development. Today is Wednesday, March 13th. We do have a quorum, and a quorum is present. I often say this whenever we gather and for the public's purposes, because I know some people don't always track this particular committee. If you are going to testify, your testimony can be no longer than 2 minutes, and we will time you. So when your 2 minutes is up, I will be gracious, and you will see me smile, but I'll still cut you off. All right? And just so that we know, we make that a rule for everyone. It's not just because you're here today, because we think that especially if you're with a group where you're all testifying about the same bill, we don't want you to repeat yourself, right? We want you to build on the arguments or the information that has already been provided by one of your colleagues or another supporter. So just know that we will time you, and when I give you the nod and gently come in, I might say, hey, you can finish your sentence, but don't think that means that you have another 5 minutes to finish your thought, okay? So thank you so much for being here. So I want to say that in advance. So today, we will be hearing a number of bills. One, we'll be hearing Senate File 4014 from Senator Morrison. We'll also hear Senate File 3223 from our own Senator Pratt, and Senate File 3891 and 3892 and 3588 from our Vice Chair, Senator Mohamed. As you can see that we have a full agenda, so we will be limiting all testifiers to that 2 minutes as I indicated. So with that being said, the only people who we do not limit will be members who can have more time than anyone else. But any other testifiers, you're limited. We like you, but you're limited. With that being said, we're going to ask Senator Morrison to come to the table. And once you prepare, Senator Morrison, please provide your opening statements for Senate File 4014. And I think I see Wendy Blackshaw and Fartoon Osman.
Fartoon, Mr. Chair, Fartoon will not be able to make it today. She was here last week, but can't make it today.
Okay, got it. And then just so you know, we do have a short video from Lou Nani and Olympic gold medalist Suni Lee as well. And anyone online will not be able to see those videos. The only people who will be able to see those videos, and I think they're 1 minute in length each, will be here in our hearing room. With that being said, now that I've had a chance to warm you up, Senator Morrison, to your bill 4014.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, members, thank you for hearing Senate File 4014 this afternoon. I also want to thank my co-authors, Senator Housley and Senator Herr. Minnesota has a great track record of hosting big sporting events. Just recently, Minnesota hosted the 2022 Women's Final Four, the MLS All-Star Game, the NHL Winter Classic, and just this past weekend, we hosted the Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament, which featured a thrilling final between Iowa and Nebraska. This bill is about the next exciting opportunities for our state. Minnesota has the opportunity to use our existing event and hospitality infrastructure to host the next slate of world-class sporting events. This means jobs, this means tens of thousands of visitors, it means vitality and spending in our downtowns, and it's civic pride for school kids who cheer on these teams and play in the local legacy projects these events fund. As a hockey mom and fan myself, coming off an incredibly successful girls and boys state hockey tournament, I'm especially excited about bringing the World Junior Hockey Championships to the state of hockey next winter. I have a great team of supporters here today who can tell the stories of these events and their impact, including St. Paul's own Suni Lee and Lou Nani, who just completed his 60th year calling the boys state hockey tournament. He's a Minnesota hockey legend who has made untold contributions to growing the sport. So with that, Mr. Chair, I'll turn it over to my testifiers.
All right, thank you so much for those opening statements. And your testifier, will that be Wendy Blackshaw? So if you'll be so kind as to state your name for the record and provide us your 2 minutes of testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is Wendy Blackshaw, and I'm President and CEO of Minnesota Sports and Events. We're a 501c6 that exists to provide maximum impact for the region's economy, image, and quality of life through the attraction, promotion, and execution of world-class events. I'd like to say thank you to the Chair and Legislature for last year's appropriation that allowed our state to secure multiple mega events, and thank you this year to Senator Morrison for carrying the bill. We're just coming off an incredible week of women's basketball, the first time a city has ever sold out a Big Ten women's basketball tournament. Tens of thousands of fans visited our region to watch Caitlin Clark and some of the most talented college players in the country. This morning, we saw preliminary hotel numbers for occupancy, and we see a year-over-year increase of 115%. Today, we opened the Big Ten's men's basketball tournament with more athletes, coaches, students, and fans coming to our hotels, restaurants, and retailers. Last session, the state's support was critical for allowing Minnesota to compete and win the opportunity to host two incredible events, the U.S. Olympic Gymnastics Trials and the World Junior Hockey Championships. Both of these events were announced after the legislature adjourned last year. These events will bring in conservatively an estimated economic impact of over $100 billion to the state. The Olympic trials for gymnastics will be held this June at Target Center in front of a sellout crowd. NBC will broadcast the trials in prime time, live from Target Center for multiple nights, showcasing Minnesota to the entire world. The World Junior Hockey Championship will come to the state of hockey in December of 2025 through January of 26, during a time when hotel occupancy is typically 5 to 10%. World Juniors will also feature a pre-tournament exhibition in multiple cities in both northern and southern Minnesota. And we have a third event that will be announced very soon. The competitive landscape for bidding and securing mega events has changed since the pandemic. And
All right, Ms. Blackshaw, you can give us your last sentence there, and then we'll go to the next testifier.
Thank you for hearing my testimony. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Senator Morrison, I'm going to come back to you because as I'm looking at your bill, it does not indicate a dollar amount, but it does says of this amount, $6 million is for cost to World, but it doesn't have, it doesn't provide any additional information, but this bill will be laid over for possible inclusion, so we'll have time in order to talk about that to even see if it's possible, okay? But I just want to make you aware of that. So your other testifier, your name, ma'am?
April Houston.
All right, so I don't see you in my list, but you go ahead and state your name for the record, and welcome to the committee, and you'll have 2 minutes.
Mr. Chair, she has the SUNY video and the Lou Nanny video. She's going to play those.
Oh, she's going to play the video.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so very much. So we will go to the...
Hi, Lou
Go ahead.
Nanny here. I just want to thank you for your support. We are so excited to have one of the crown jewels of hockey coming to Minnesota 2025-2026. That's the World Junior Tournament. We're so fortunate to have this because this is world renowned. For instance, in the U.S. NHL Network will have stuff about Minnesota on 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row. Same thing in Canada with TSN, same thing all over Europe. And we are fortunate because so many people will be coming to this area to help out the state of Minnesota by their spending, by their participation in that tournament. The retailers, the hotel people, the restaurant people, everybody's going to benefit, but we as citizens of Minnesota, residents of Minnesota, are going to be the ones benefiting the most because people are going to realize what a great state this is, and this is what the state needs at this time. So thanks for the support because you are making it happen.
All right, thank you. And before we see the SUNY Lee video, I do want to just say that it's my understanding that Lou Nanny has just completed doing 60 years doing colorful commentary for the Minnesota High School State Hockey Tournament. And in my notes, and I thank Tom for reminding me of that because I did see that on the news. And so this past Saturday, it's my understanding was his final game. So just, you cannot applaud, but we can at least acknowledge that point. Oh yeah, that's the thing that you all do now? I don't know what to do. Okay. All right, now for the SUNY Lee video. Thank you so much.
Hi, Hi everyone, I'm Simu Lee. I'm training here at Midwest Gymnastics, getting ready for the upcoming Olympic trials. I'm so excited to be competing in my hometown in front of all of my friends and family. Without the support of the governor and the legislator, I wouldn't be able to be here right now. Thank you so much for the support, and I can't wait to show everyone how amazing Minnesota is. Love you guys.
All right, thank you so very much for those videos, and thank you so much for that testimony. I think we have one other testifier before we'll allow the committee to ask questions. We'll ask Wade Lunenberg to come forward from Unite Here to give his 2 minutes of testimony. Welcome to the committee. If you'll be so kind as to state your name for the record, and let's go forward.
Senator Champion, Senators, my name is Wade Lunenberg, Political Director with Unite Here, Local 17, Minnesota's Hospitality Union. We are in all of the major sports facilities, our convention centers, 24 union hotels in the Twin Cities, Bloomington and Rochester, craft brewing, restaurants, and we have 1,200 people on the field at MSP International. We joined the MIN-SE effort late last year to put a lens on the workforce in hospitality and how these large events can impact workers and working families, the majority of whom are women and people of color. COVID was incredibly damaging to our industry, leading to 90% unemployment, with workers coming back only in fits and starts over 2 years. Recovery has been strong in the larger industry, but we still have challenges. As we think about the recovery and revitalization of our downtowns, including outstate cities, these large events become more important in the future. Our cities have long relied on a business class traveler and conferencing and the various local taxes they generated. That traveler is still missing and may not return to the same levels, and that may also be true for office workers. The large events that MNSE is competing for and winning can fully sustain workers in our industry, reanimate our downtowns, renew the hospitality infrastructure, and restore those important local taxes. It can also support small and minority-owned operations and workers in neighborhoods and the cultural corridors that travelers are eager to experience. 1 in 10 Minnesotans work in hospitality, and efforts like these are an important piece of that repositioning for workers and working families toward a continued recovery and Minnesota's long-term success. Thank you.
Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate your testimony. Let me pause for a second and see if there's any questions from the committee before I go to Senator Housley. I do have one question. Senator Morrison, it's my understanding last year that this particular organization had already received some funding last year. It's my understanding it was $13 million that went from capital investments of Senator Pappas to deed. It's my understanding, and then therefore it would be through deed to explore Minnesota. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, that is correct.
And can you tell me how much of that $13 million that has already been utilized? Because we usually don't like individuals to now come that got money already, and now they're coming back even before the biennium is done and ask for more money. So can you tell us how much of that $13 million has been utilized?
Mr. Chair, before I defer to my testifier, this reflects the annual need that for the Twin Cities to be, and Minnesota to be competitive with surrounding states to gain access to these big sporting events. So that also reflects the blank appropriation. There's a need, there's an urgent need to optimize the World Junior Hockey Championships that are coming next year. But we need more funding than that on an annual basis. So that's a reflection of that. But with that, I'll turn it over to my testifier.
Mr. Chair, the appropriation was for WrestleMania, which we do not have a decision on that yet. That's what the $13 million was for.
I'm sorry, you said it was for what?
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the information that we have, but okay. We would double check that and see. But here's the other thing that I like to ask. Aren't there sponsors who usually do these big events, and usually sponsors sort of do all that other good work? And tell me how private sponsors will fit into any sponsorship or any work for the sports and events organization.
Mr. Chair, corporate sponsor.
Ms. Blackshaw, go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, corporate sponsorship has funded these events in Minnesota for many, many years, including $50 million for Super Bowl, $4 million for Women's Final Four, $20 million for Men's Final Four. And the corporate community finally came to us and said, we are very happy to help to do this, but we can't continue to do this 100%. Other states that have these events have a public funding mechanism, and if we want to continue to have these events, we will have to have a public-private partnership. We will always have corporate opportunities. There will always be corporate funding, but we're hoping to have a public-private partnership. Thank you.
Any other questions? Senator Housley, I understand that you have an amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I have the A1 amendment.
Senator Housley has the A1 amendment. The A1 amendment is in your packet. Senator Housley, to your A1 amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I want to thank Senator Morrison for bringing this bill forward, and I want to thank the Minnesota Sports and Events for all the work that you do and all the fun things that you've brought to the state of Minnesota, and I hope you can continue to do that, and we will help you. This amendment's drafted so that Explore Minnesota Tourism, as the agent issuing the grant, is responsible for the report, not Minnesota Sports and Events. However, Minnesota Sports and Events is required to provide any information needed by Explore Minnesota Tourism to complete the report. There's been concerns expressed around here that the reporting requirement is duplicative because the agency is already collecting that information to provide the oversight. So by requiring the agency to provide the report, the amendment seeks to remove a step that's just duplicative and simply ask the agency to share the information with the legislature and what we need here for our committee.
Thank you, Senator Housley. Again, members, you're looking at the A1 amendment. Any questions on the A1 amendment?
Mr. Chair, may I see the amendment, please?
Oh,
I
yes,
haven't
I'm
heard
sorry.
about this.
I'm sorry. Senator Morrison, sorry about that.
Mr. Chair, I just haven't seen the amendment.
I'm sorry?
I haven't seen a copy of the amendment, sir.
Yes. And we'll give you some time to look at that, Senator Morrison. And while you're looking at that, I have a question for Ms. Blackshaw. Ms. Blackshaw, it is my understanding that the legislation that appropriated $13 million to this organization did not say WrestleMania. And so I'd ask that you take a look at that. So even though we're going to lay this bill over for possible inclusion, the question will be, in the event that we think about doing anything, is whether you all would be eligible, or that $13 million would be eligible for this hockey, this youth hockey championship. Ms. Blackshaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The $13 million was an open appropriation. I was speaking to that at the time. What we allocated that to is if we get WrestleMania.
Okay, so that'd be a decision that you all would be making if you were to get it, to put it there as opposed to the youth hockey championship. Is that what you're speaking to?
Correct.
All right, so that would be your decision. I just want to make sure that
Yes.
we're clear about that.
Yes.
All right, any other, Senator Morrison, to the A1 amendment?
Mr. Chair, and thank you, Senator Housley, I would accept this amendment as a friendly amendment.
Thank you so much. Any other questions or any other discussion on the A1 amendment? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The motion prevails and the A1 amendment is adopted. Any other questions for the testifiers from the committee? Seeing none, Senator Morrison, if you would give us your final comments before we lay this bill over for possible inclusion. Senator Morrison.
Mr. Chair and members, thank you very much for hearing the bill and considering it. I think it's in our state's interest to continue to host these incredible sporting events, and I would encourage your support. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Senator Morrison. We're always excited to see you. All right, we'll move on to our next bill as we lay Senate File 4014 over for possible inclusion. Senator Pratt, I believe you are ready, so please approach the testifier's table to present Senate File number 3223. And I believe you have with you Tim Zunker. Is that correct?
I do, Mr.
All right,
Chair.
thank you so much. We'll always start with our members, so Senator Pratt, to your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before we get to the bill, I'd like to offer the A1 amendment.
Senator Pratt has the A1 amendment. Let's make sure that that's been distributed to all of the members. I didn't see it in mine. Did you see it?
I didn't see it in my packet either,
I didn't see
Mr.
it in
Chair.
my packet. So we'll pause a moment while they find that amendment so we can get it and get it distributed. While we are trying to find that A1 amendment, I would point the members to the fact that you have letters of support from the community. I believe there's 10 letters of support for the Senator Pratt's bill. So please take a look at those while we are trying
Mr.
to
Chair,
get the
we can
A1
get more
amendment.
if you want them. We can get more letters of support if you'd like them.
Oh, no, that's quite all right, Senator Pratt. Senator Pratt, if you'd be patient with us while we are getting that, if you want to explain a little about your bill while we're getting that, that would be great.
Well, Mr. Chair, I'll talk about the bill, but let me just say that the amendment itself is really fairly technical. It updates some of the dates in the bill and also strikes one of the two tax credit provisions that created a cap on how much. We're still in discussions on that, so I didn't want to leave it with a blank number. So that's what the amendment will do when you get it, members, and we take that up. But Mr. President, if you'd like me to, I'll go ahead and talk about the bill in whole as it would be amended.
Yes, yes, Senator Pratt, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, members, Senate File 3223 is an innovative pilot to address the workforce development challenges that we face statewide. Shakopee is going to be a community that embraces its past while it also embraces its growing diverse population as more families find it a great place to raise a family. When you think back not that long ago, the Southwest Metro was considered way out there. I remember when we moved out there, everybody looked at my dad and said, "You're moving south of the river, really?" But in that time, Shakopee was considered a regional center. And it was where we had our main area for jobs and economic activity. And Shakopee is still seen as an economic hub in our area. You know, honestly, some of our local businesses have been in business for over 100 years. But they're paired up and next to businesses that have just opened since 2020. As we continue to grow, we find entrepreneurship growing in our area as well. And that's putting challenges on us because we are very unique. Scott County is the only metro county without the presence of any higher ed institutions providing services today. So Senate File 3223 would appropriate $700,000 one time from the Workforce Development Fund for a grant to the Shakopee Chamber Foundation. The Shakopee Chamber Foundation would then create a scholarship program to help that would include a partnership between local businesses, the city, and the higher ed institutions to come together and train. And I believe we have a match of 25% of the state funds would be matched by the local foundation. What are the jobs we're talking about? Same ones we continue to see struggles with across the state. We need healthcare workers. We have a large regional medical center in our area. Advanced manufacturing, law enforcement. And you've often heard me say that we are the hospitality hub for the entire metro area with Valley Fair, Canterbury Park, the Renaissance Festival, Mystic Lake. We bring in over 10 million visitors a year down to Scott County and being able to train people not just for hospitality jobs but hospitality careers is so vitally important. And I want to touch on that just for a minute. We're not trying to train people for jobs, we're trying to train people for careers. And what we're asking is that a grantee with one of these scholarships would commit to working for 3 years in our area. They may not necessarily have to work for the same employer, but we're asking them to work in a high demand job within our area for 3 years as recognition of the investment that our community's made in them. So, Mr. Chair, I'll leave it at that. If you want to take up the amendment, if you want to go to Mr. Zunker, I'll do however you want to, I'll go however you want to.
Thank you, Senator Pratt. We do now, I think all members have the A1 amendment. Any questions on the A1 amendment? Senator Pratt did sort of go through it and talked about the impact that the A1 will have on the overall bill. Any additional questions for Senator Pratt? Seeing none, because you were offered it already, because you're a member of our committee. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Senator Pratt, we will now go, well, I do have a couple questions before we go to your testifier. You're asking for $700,000 as it looks like in on line 4.22. My question is, your bill calls for the employer partnership where there has to be that 25% match that you indicated. What would occur or what would happen with the funds if the employer nor the foundation is able to come up with the 25% match?
Mr. Chair, if I could ask Mr. Zunker to answer that question. He's been more intimately involved with the negotiations and the relationships.
Thank you so much. Mr. Zunker, welcome to the committee. If you'd be so kind as to state your name for the record and proceed with your 2 minutes of testimony, and then you can answer my question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members, and good afternoon. My name is Tim Zunker, and I'm the president for the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau and serve as a director on the Shakopee Chamber Foundation's board. I appreciate the opportunity to testify in support of Senate File 3223 and want to thank Senator Eric Pratt for his willingness to work with our organization on this bill. Senate File 3223 will help bridge the skills gap in Scott County while implementing a public-private partnership to create upward mobility with a focus on occupations in demand. By working with the Dakota Scott Workforce Development Board and partner colleges and universities, we will be able to identify these areas of need based off data from the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, work with area colleges to tailor programming to fit these occupations, and fill these cohorts to create opportunity for individuals. While Scott County has a higher labor force participation rate than the state of Minnesota, there's an opportunity gap based off demographics. Based off the county profile from DEED, the unemployment rate for individuals who identify as Black or African American is 10.5%, which is higher than the state average of 8.7%. In addition, for individuals who identify as Hispanic or Latino, the unemployment rate is 7.6%, which is higher than the state average of 6.3%. By working with our nonprofit community in Scott County, including Mikasa and Community Resource Center, Senate File 3223 will allow us to assist in creating better opportunities for the underserved and underrepresented in Scott County. In addition, to better serve the underserved in the county, we are currently working with area colleges and universities in partnership with the Scott County CDA and area businesses to bring training opportunities into the county. Since we do not have, as referenced by Senator Pratt, a community or technical college or four-year university, the elimination of transportation barriers by working with these universities and colleges to bring the training into the county can only help to create access to quality training and education for our residents. And through our current workforce efforts with Shakopee Public Schools, the Scott County CDA, through United Way Workforce Grants, focus on...
Mr. Junker?
Yeah.
Zunker, your 2 minutes is up. You can say your last sentence there, and that'd be great.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say thank you to the committee for the opportunity to testify and ask for your support for Senate File 3223. Thank you.
Thank you. Although that was more than one sentence, I'm still going to say okay.
I apologize, Mr. Chair.
It had a comma, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Now you can answer my question because I didn't want you answer my question to cut into the 2 minutes that you were allotted.
Mr. Chair, would you please repeat the question?
So my question is, what would happen with the funds if the Minnesota universities and colleges or the employers are not able to, or the foundation is not able to come up with the 25% match? What would happen with with any allocation?
The allocation would be matched Mr. Chair, sorry. The way the allocation would work is it only would be expended out if the 25% is available within the foundation funds. And by that, I mean that we have dollars available that can match these things within our foundation efforts. We would work with the the business community to fund this in advance of the 25% partnership. So within that is part of the tax within there also is the idea that we were going to work with the business community, nonprofit organizations, for grant opportunities to fund the foundation to be able to meet the demands of this occupation. This bill. So with that, the $700,000 within the appropriation, we would make sure that the foundation is fully funded up to that point to be able to meet the demands if none of the business partners were able to come in at that 25%.
And so I know that you're doing that great work. Thank you for that. Thank you for your testimony. But in the event that they fall short, and I'm not suggesting that you would, what would still happen to those funds if you were unable to secure the funds? To Mr. Zunker.
Mr. Chair,
Senator Pratt.
as the bill is currently written, the appropriation is available until expended, and so the funds would sit there until Mr. Zunker was able to pull together the matching funds. We don't expect that to be a problem, but I'd be happy to work with you and others on the committee if you'd like to put a time certain on the pilot to make sure that local partners can come up with those matching funds, because I do view this as a pilot that might inform us statewide on a new process for looking at workforce development.
Thank you, Senator Pratt. And I think I was able to answer my own question, because these funds, even if we allocated them, they would still go through D. D would have to come up with a contract with you all, and it's a reimbursable model, is my understanding. So, but we can certainly double check that, and thank you, Senator Pratt, for your willingness to think about that. Any additional questions for Senator Pratt? Senator Pratt, I recognize that you want, your recommendation is for it to pass and go to taxes. And I'm thinking about what happens after it goes to taxes, because the money has not and will not be allocated, because the money would have to be paid from us in the event that the committee decides to do it. So do you want it to go to taxes and then it will be referred to finance and it would just sit there until there's been a decision one way or the other? Or would you want for it to come back to us so that it would be with us for possible inclusion, because we're the ones that would have to spend the money? So Senator Pratt, I'm giving you a choice to figure out how you want it to go, because at the end of the day, this committee has to decide if they're going to fund this project. Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I were sitting in your position, I think I would want the bill to be referred back to this committee so that the appropriation could be looked at separately, and we can just handle the tax aspect separately. We're not sure that the tax aspect is going to survive, and so it may be coming back to this committee even sooner. That's the difference between the House version and the Senate version right now, but we're trying to work that out, because we do want to make sure that we get good participation from our business community.
Thank you, Senator Pratt. My thinking exactly, but I wanted to give you that option. So Senator Pratt recommends that the bill pass and be referred to taxes.
And Mr. Chair, I would like to draw members to page 4, subsection 9, where we talk about a very robust reporting element that's included in this bill as well. That may look somewhat familiar to all of those that have had bills in front of this committee in the past, and I wanted to at least highlight that we are taking that up as well.
Absolutely. Senator Pratt, for your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I request that Senate File 3223 do pass the committee and be referred to the Committee on Taxes.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The motion passed and the bill goes forward. Thank you. To taxes. Thank you, Senator Pratt, and we'll look forward to seeing it again.
Thank you.
Now we ask Senator Mohamed to come forward. and we're going to consider Senate File 3892. Oh, I missed 3892. I jumped, so we will go to 3891. I'm sorry. 3891, you got it? 3891, I did jump here. So 3891, Senator Mohamed, Jobs Foundation Grant Appropriation, and there should be two testifiers, Heather Walsh and Ellis Simmons. So Senator Mohamed, when you are prepared and ready, please give your opening statements, and then we will go to your testifiers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before you is Senate File 3891, which is a workforce development grant for Repowered. Jobs Foundation DBA, doing business as. Repowered is a workforce readiness program that has been serving Minnesota since 2011. This would be, if they received this grant, their first state grant. They are unique in their program. They are unique in their program meets an immediate need for returning citizens. Paid employment with full benefits for up to 18 months. The program layers training and support services as needed by the individual. Support services include on-site mental health programs and training encouraging personal growth, from management change to financial literacy. Repowered is seeking funding to support their direct training and service costs as safety net enhancement to forklift and pallet jackets that the work readiness employees use, and economic support to assist in offsetting the paid work experience for up to 18 months of the program. Repowered is also unique in that they serve women and registry-involved individuals. As they do this with impressive results, 70% of work readiness employees graduate with employment and secure, earning higher wage than they would have without the program. And their recidivism rate for as of 2023 was just 4%. I've got a few testifiers with me, and I'm sure an amendment will be coming soon. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Mohamed. Thank you for your opening statements. We will go to your first testifier, which is Heather Walsh, who is the CEO of Repowered Ellis Simmons Work Readiness. So introduce yourself for the record, and then go forward with your testimony. I'm sorry.
Excellent. Thank you, Chair. Esteemed legislators, thank you very much for your time today. My name is Heather Walsh, and I'm the CEO of Repowered, a nonprofit employment social enterprise under Jobs Foundation. And I'm here to advocate for funding Repowered's Work Readiness Program. Our mission is to transform lives by providing practical work experience for people facing barriers to employment, and supplement that work experience with skills training and personal development to prepare them to be more valuable employees with expanding futures. We accomplish this by employing previously incarcerated individuals in our 91,000 square foot electronics recycling, data destruction, and refurbishing facility. Here they earn wages while stabilizing their lives, learning new skills, and developing a plan for a future career. They meet one-on-one weekly with their work-life navigator, have comprehensive support services available, participate in weekly trainings, and engage in a supportive, collaborative environment as an employee. We fiercely believe that all people are defined by their future and not their past. Repowered is also committed to performance and continued improvement. In 2021, 28% of work readiness employees completed the first 90 days of the program. In 2022, that number jumped to 62%, and in 2023, we were up to 81%. While the first 90 days is a critical indicator for individual success, work readiness employees can stay for up to 18 months in this transitional program. The appropriation is our first ask ever. It's a one-time appropriation to fund direct training, direct services, safety enhancements, and overall economic support of our work readiness employees. With this program, we unlock hope and opportunity, allowing talented individuals to build confidence, break the cycle of recidivism, and rebuild their lives. May we all have a fair chance at an expanding future. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, and thank you for being within that 2 minutes. I do have a couple questions. You indicated, well, I'm looking at the appropriation. and it's for Jobs Foundation. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear. So your Repowered program, is it a program of the Jobs Foundation, or is the Jobs Foundation looking to be a fiscal agent for your organization?
Yeah, Jobs Foundation, we are Jobs Foundation doing business as Repowered. So Jobs Foundation is our legal entity. Repowered is the organization in which we operate.
And then you gave some numbers. You were talking about 62%, you were talking about 81%. Of what number? How many folks have you served since 2021? To the testifier.
Thank you, Chair. So last year, we served 72 individuals in the year of 2023. Going back to 2022 and 2021, 2021, we were in the 80s. And in 2022, we served more than that. But I would like to just acknowledge that we continue to improve the quality of our program, and that's very important to us, to have better performance at the outcome. So our number has gone down to 72, but we improved the quality of the program. So 2022 was our highest. I believe it was in the 90s.
So just for clarity, you're saying that in 2021, you served about 80 individuals. In 2022, you're saying it was what number?
In the 90s.
In the 90s. And in 2023, it was in 2023, it was 72 individuals. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Would you account for, or are you suggesting that the number went down because you needed to improve the quality of your program?
Yeah.
To the testifier.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chair. That is exactly what I'm saying. The quality of the program increased. People the term in which people stayed in the program lengthened. So people stayed with the program longer. The more services we offer and the more training we offer, and the better results we get placing them in careers after our program.
And one last question before I go to the other testifier. Did you all do any surveying of the individuals who were a part of your program to determine if they believe that the quality of your program met a standard or not? To the testifier.
Yes, thank you, Chair. We do a qualitative phone survey at 90 days post program graduation and at 1 year. They are qualitative, so it's not statistically significant, but this is an opportunity for us to get feedback from participants in terms of what parts of the program are most valuable to them. And what we find is everyone who comes into the program is an individual, and they need different things. So we have to have the whole menu.
All right. I did say that was my last question, right? But I really do have one more question. What would you use the appropriation to accomplish? So if you were to get $450,000, that seems to be an extraordinary amount of money. Can you tell me how that would impact your program, and what would you use it for?
Yeah. So fundamentally, our program has not changed for the last 10 years in terms of our structure and how we operate. And the world is changing around us, so we need the appropriation to supplement the expenses that we have with the program, so that we can make some significant business model changes to our recycling business, so that we can have financial sustainability long-term to support this program. Again, this is the first ask. We've fully supported ourselves with our revenues since 2011. And so that's why we need the money now.
All right, I do have another question, but I'm going to wait because I did say I was going to go to your testifier. Ellis Simmons, welcome to the committee, and please provide your 2 minutes of testimony.
Good afternoon. I must say it is a privilege to testify before you today. I am Eli, a.k.a. Ellis Simmons. I am with the Repowered program, and it has been a great place to work. They have opportunities for everybody, for the educated, the uneducated, for the gifted, the ungifted, talented, untalented, opportunities for second chances in life, and I'm just so happy to be a part of that. They offer you counseling and also therapy and other opportunities at life skills and building things of that nature. All those things add up to the holistic part of the person, and I'm learning new skills and sharpening skills It gives you opportunities to go from one career to another, start new careers, start over in life, switch it to another career. They also help you do all of those things from their standpoint. So I'm just so grateful to be a part of those opportunities, and I hope that I can continue to grow and develop as I move on from Repowered or stay with them, because they do prepare you to move on to better things, whichever comes first, and just to continue to have the ability to do those things that I need to do to help myself to restart my life. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it, and congratulations on all of your accomplishments. I will go back to Ms. Walsh. You said in your testimony that a part of what your organization does is that you help with safety enhancements. And can you tell me what that means?
Yes.
To the testifier.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. The safety enhancements, specifically the items that we're looking at is we have 4 forklifts that we use for forklift training, and we use them extensively. They require some maintenance and upgrades because we will continue to train everyone on forklift. We are training people for a light manufacturing environment, so that is a basic skill that everyone needs to have. I will tell you our things like tires and maintenance are critical on those forklifts that we use for training. The second piece of that is we use pallet jacks to move large pallets of very heavy electronics around. We are constantly moving very heavy pieces. When the pallet jacks are in good working order, we have fewer injuries. So we are using very old equipment right now, and that would be used, when I say safety enhancements, we'd be investing in some new pallet jacks so that we reduce any injuries.
And you said that you've been supporting yourself for the last couple of years, since 2021, if my memory serves me correctly. So what has your operational expenses been from 21 to 22 and then also 23?
Yeah, okay, so in 2021, our operational expenses were about $5.5 million. In 2022, the operational expenses were about $5.3 million, and in 2023, we were down to $5 million.
And about how many employees do you have?
We have a total of 55 employees. And just under half of those are work readiness employees.
And last but certainly not least, when I asked earlier what the $450,000 would be used for, you indicated that it would be used to supplement. But I didn't hear you say that it would be used to increase the number of individuals who would come into your work readiness program. Is that correct?
That is correct. We did receive a small Pathways to Prosperity grant from Minnesota DEED this year, and in that grant, we've already committed to hiring 45 work readiness employees in the next 12 months. So I cannot commit to more than that, and feel confident about that number. So we are hiring 45 additional employees in the next 12 months.
Thank you. And to Mr. Simmons, earlier I stated your name is Ellis Simmons, but it sounds like your name is Eli. Is that correct?
Ellis Simmons is my government name. Eli I just go by.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't disrespecting you in any way, and I just wanted to make sure I clarified that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions from the committee? Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to offer the A2 amendment.
I'm sorry?
The A2 amendment.
Oh, the A2 amendment. Senator Pratt offers the A2 amendment. And will you make sure that Senator Mohamed has an opportunity to see the A2 amendment, please, staff? Do you have it?
They were in our packets, so.
Oh, sorry, I didn't grab it.
No, that's okay.
All right. Senator Pratt, as she's getting the A2 amendment, will you please discuss the A2 amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the A2 amendment is just simply a reporting amendment, and would like to just highlight that, we've taken the concerns of the committee about some of the duplicative efforts of the reporting amendments and putting the onus on DEED to share that information with the legislature.
All right. Any other, Senator Mohamed, you want to speak to the A2 amendment, or are you still reading it?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I accept the A2 amendment.
Any other discussions? Any other discussions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The A2 amendment is adopted. Still before us, before we lay it over for possible inclusion, we have the Senate File 3891 as amended. Any additional questions? Senator Nelson.
I just, maybe I missed this, but the, is the appropriation going to increase the number of people that you can serve? Just briefly, maybe state that again if you already had.
Yes, she stated it once, Senator Nelson, but I will point to or look at the testifier, Ms. Walsh, to clarify it again.
Sure. The amount of the appropriation is not increasing the number of employees. It's improving the program and enabling them to participate in a longer amount of time. We've made a commitment to the state to hire 45 employees in the next 12 months, which is a significant number of employees. And so we're going to accept a very high burden of wages and use on our equipment and all of those costs. And so this is helping us bear that cost.
And Senator Nelson, just for clarity also, is my understanding from Mrs. Walsh that they got a grant already from DEED in order to make that commitment that that the appropriation before us will not increase that number at all, that they already got a grant for that. It would just supplement their need from an operational perspective. Is that correct, Ms. Walsh?
Yes, that's correct.
Any follow-up questions? Senator Nelson?
Yes. So how much was the grant from DEED?
Ms. Walsh?
The grant from DEED was for $200,000 over the next 2 years.
Okay.
Senator Nelson?
Madam Chair, I'll just try and be really brief. So $650,000 will train how many people?
Ms. Walsh?
45.
Senator Nelson?
I'll do the math on that, but thank you. So 45 people and $650,000 in training. Did you say?
I didn't want to step on you. I feel like I stepped on you, that you were not done with your question. Senator Nelson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And did you say what the training is for?
Ms. Walsh?
What kind of training?
So it is, the training is work skills around manufacturing, it's digital literacy, it's financial literacy, it's entrepreneurial training, because some people want to start their own companies. But that's just one piece of it. We're making an 18-month commitment to pay people 40 hours a week for 18 months when we hire a person on. That's an enormous economic commitment that we're making to the state of Minnesota. So the 650, as you say, that 200, we're making a commitment to bring on 45 people, and our enterprise, the recycling business, will cover the majority of their wages. This just covers a small fraction of all of those costs and the gap there.
Senator Nelson,
thank you, Mr. Chair, and for your indulgence, I was eating lunch and trying to follow along. So you've answered all my questions. Thank you very much.
Well, Senator Nelson, it's good to hear that you did something that I wasn't able to do, eat lunch. So thank you so very much. All right, thank you to the testifiers. Any other questions for the testifiers before we lay Senate File number 3891 as amended on the table for possible inclusion? Any closing comments, Senator Mohamed, on this bill?
No, thank you, Mr.
All right. With that being said, Senate File number 3891 as amended will be laid on the table for possible inclusion. Thank you so much. Thank you to the testifiers. All right. We are now go to, and seeing I was a little excited and I went to 3892 before going to 3891. We will now bring 3892 before the committee. Senator Mohamed is there, and we will now also ask for Darrell Thompson to join Senator Mohamed, and Vienna Chain, who is a participant, and we'll then have Christian Gary on deck, so you can be ready. So you might want to, Christian Deck, you might want to move to the first row. All right, thank you so much, and welcome to the committee. Senator Mohamed, your opening statements for 3892.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'll just say that I think you wanted to call this one up first because you're the co-author on this bill. Boulder option, before you is Senate File 3892. Boulder Options Youth Mentoring Program is seeking $500,000 one-time appropriation in fiscal year 2025 from the Workforce Fund to provide young people aged 12 to 22 in the Twin Cities and in Rochester with intensive one-to-one mentorship programming that teaches life and job-seeking skills, career and college achievement codes, and connections to employment and job training education opportunities. Boulder Options formally serves around 240 youth annually and more than 1,000 informally. Mentoring provides solutions that address the skills gap. Mentoring has consistently been found to be one of the most effective practices for increasing persistence, resilience, and personal growth over a child's lifetime. I have some testifiers with me and some statistics if people want, but thank you, Mr. Chair. Should we address the amendment first before we get to the testifiers?
It's up to you. It's your bill, Senator Mohamed. We'll operate in any way that you want. Would you like for us to deal with the A2 amendment?
I will give to Senator Draham to explain the amendment.
Senator Draham.
Thank you, members, and thank you, Senator Mohamed, for bringing this bill forward. Mr. Thompson, I owe you an apology for not getting back to you. Thank you for reaching out. And, you know, I have heard about your program in the past. It looks wonderful. Look forward to your testimony. But we do have an amendment that we've been putting on all bills of this type, and it is intended to help us understand the effectiveness of all the different programs that are funded through deed. So we have the A2 amendment, Chair.
Senator Draham offers the A2 amendment. Senator Draham to your A2.
So the A2, members, is the same amendment that you've seen many times. Just some reporting from the agency back to us. Thank you.
Senator Mohamed to the A2 amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Senator Draham. I accept this very friendly amendment.
All right. Any other discussion on the A2 amendment? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. The A2 amendment is adopted. Senator Mohamed, we will go to Mr. Darrell Thompson, who is the president and CEO of Boulder Options. Mr. Thompson, will you be so kind as to introduce yourself for the record and give us your 2 minutes of testimony?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Darrell Thompson, and I'm the president and CEO of Boulder Options. We're in our 31st year as an organization. I'm in my 29th year as a leader, nearly half of my life. Boulder Options is a youth mentoring program for youth 10 to 14 years old. Youth are referred from social workers, therapists, teachers, and other professionals. At Boulder Options, we focus on healthy habits and goal setting. We set a strong foundation for young people to explore bigger, bolder options. We have been offering one-to-one mentoring for 30 years, and about 7 years ago, we started offering a more structured alumni program and have successfully completed, for youth, have successfully completed our one-to-one mentoring program. This is our I Believe, I Achieve program. Last year, 98% of the youth that graduated from our one-year mentoring program opted into our alumni program. Our paid professional skills and career exploration program called I Believe, I Achieve for youth 14 years and older has a waiting list. With capacity and resources, we can serve more alumni. We have been receiving OJP funding for support for our mentoring program for many years and have a strong track record with that. We want to build upon our strong existing relationships and expand our alumni opportunities for our youth. We typically manage around 100 new pairs every year. Our alumni program has the potential to reach hundreds, but we need to increase our capacity to do that. We started as a small nonprofit 30 years ago and have evolved into a one-year mentoring program with alumni that has benefited over 30,000 youth. Over 420,000 volunteer hours have been invested in Minnesota youth through Boulder Options, and equally important, and maybe the most important piece to me, is this program saves taxpayers dollars and fuels our economy. Just one youth lost to a life of crime cost Minnesota between $1.7 and $2.3 million. Boulder Options is your workforce pipeline. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson, for your testimony. I'll have some questions later, but we'll go to Vienna Chang, who is a participant with the Twin Cities branch. So identify yourself for the record and give us your 2 minutes of testimony. Welcome to the committee.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Vienna Chang, and I'm an alumni of the Boulder Options program. I'd like to thank you all for your time today and for listening to my story. I've been with Boulder Options for nearly a decade, and since then, it's become the door to a safe space, a place to volunteer, a place to confide, and a place to develop lifelong skills. Through the I Achieve program as an alumni, I've learned how to bank with Highway Credit Union and how to network and prepare for interviews with companies like Medtronic. And then with all those skills combined, I am now a successful CNA, and I'm earning my degree in nursing at the University of St. Thomas. Again, I'm honored to be here today to represent as living proof that Boulder Options is positively affecting our younger generations. And with their support, youth in our communities can achieve wonderful and great things. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for your testimony. We sincerely appreciate you being here. We'll now go to Kristen Gary. So if someone can let Kristen Gary come forward. He's a participant from Rochester. Once you are settled, please identify yourself for the record and go forward with your 2 minutes of testimony.
Okay. Hi, my name is Christian. I'm 14 years old and live in Rochester, Minnesota. I'm here to tell you how Boulder Options has changed my life. Boulder Options gave me not only a positive male role model, but it also showed me how to have fun. No matter what, my mentor was there to pick me up, listen to me, and show me how to do new things. He showed me how to fish, how to set goals, and when we completed a goal, he brought me out to eat to celebrate. He brought me to the Olive Garden. I had never been to a restaurant like that before. It was amazing, but most importantly, he truly listened to me. This year, I have embarked on another journey with Boulder Options. I'm a part of I Believe. The program is teaching me about topics that can help me be more successful when I enter the workforce. I'm learning about my strengths, interview skills, and writing a dream resume. Thinking about what kinds of jobs I might want to have and how I can prepare myself to get those jobs. Boulder Options is helping me set me up for my future success. I thank Boulder Options and my mentor from the bottom of my heart. You were the first people to not only not judge me and my family, but to provide us hope by showing us that someone cares. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony. You did a really good job, I'd like for you to know. I do have a question for you. You indicated that you went to Olive Garden, which is a place I love to go eat. Can you tell me what you had when you were at Olive Garden?
I got eggplant parmesan.
Oh, eggplant parmesan. Let me say, a man after my own heart. I like that. Good job. All right. Any questions for the testifiers? But before we let you go, I do have a couple questions for Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, you indicated that you all, I think, served 240 youth last year.
Yes.
And my question is, how many additional youth will be served by this appropriation?
It would be
Mr.
exponential.
Thompson?
It would be exponential for us. So right now, it's 10 new kids per year, and if we have this opportunity, it would be over 100 youth being served a year in our I Believe I Achieve program.
And when you say 100 youth, Mr. Thompson, you're saying at least an additional 100 youth. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you said also that you were receiving, if my hearing is okay, that you were receiving some funds from OJP, which is the Office of Justice Program. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how much are you currently receiving from OJP?
I don't know that off the top of my head. I have to get back to you with that.
Okay, that's fine. Any other questions for the testifiers? Any for my good friend there, Kristen Gary, who went to Olive Garden, which I appreciate, or Vienna Chang? Senator Drahan.
Thank you, Chair. And we should outlaw talking about lunch over this committee timeframe. But great job, Christian, on your testimony. And Mr. Thompson, on this 100 new potential kids that you'll be helping out, it's a one-to-one program. So do you think you'll be able to ramp up the staffing to match that mentoring on a one-to-one basis with expanding that many more kids?
I do.
Mr. Thompson. Oh, so, Mr. Thompson, the reason why I sort of jump in, because I have to recognize you before you can start speaking, okay? If Senator Mohamed was in my seat, and if I did that, she would always remind me to speak through the chair. So I just wanted to say, you're doing a great job. Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. Yes, we would be, well, the one-to-one mentoring would continue with their mentor. The ramping up would be with our staff. So it'd be additional staff to be able to continue to serve the kids. Right now, it's kind of like a quarter to part-time person. We'd like to have a couple full-time people that we would be able to really ramp it up and meet our numbers.
Senator Drahan. Any other questions for any of the testifiers? Well, just want to let you know, in Vienna, we want you to know that you did a wonderful job as well. With that being said, we'll go to the closing comments from Senator Mohamed to Senate File 3892 as amended.
Well, thank you for considering this, Mr. Chair, and I hope that we can fund this important program. And thank you for talking about food while Senator Putnam and I are fasting.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Oh, sorry. So Senator Mohamed and I have been talking about meat fasting during Ramadan as well. I haven't quite made it yet, but I'm working on it. Any other questions? If none, Senate File number 3892 as amended will be laid over for possible inclusion. Thank you so very much. We will now go to Senate File 3588, Senator Mohamed, unemployment insurance, and this bill will be laid over. It will not be sent anyplace else. All right. And just so that we remind those folks who came in, who wasn't initially with us, that testimony will be relegated to 2 minutes per person, and we will time you as we do everyone. Senator Drahan.
Thank you, Chair. And I know we don't have a fiscal note, is my understanding, or a local impact statement on this bill yet. I would ask that this bill come back to this committee once we do have the fiscal note or the local impact statement. And I would ask Senator Pratt to request a local impact note, because I believe he can, for the Finance Committee. So just want to get that on record, that I think we need that as we have this discussion. I wanted to bring it up before the people came up. I did email the author of the bill a statute that had a bunch of questions on it, and she did respond. Thank you, Senator Mohamed, for that. And I think we need a whole discussion on that piece of it, but I just wanted to lay the groundworks, Chair, on that. Is that agreeable?
Senator Drahan, that is totally agreeable. This bill is just going to be laid over.
Okay, I appreciate that.
It's not going anywhere.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions before Senator Mohamed gives us her opening statements for 3588? I'm going to ask Jake Switzer. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, I'm certain that you'll get me right. And then we'll also have, it looks like I have Bart Anderson. Is Bart with us? All right, if you'll go there. And then once one of the two testifiers testify, then we'll also have Todd Dahlstrom join us, as well as John Konzelman. You'll correct me if I'm as well. All right. So with that being said, opening statements from Senator Mohamed to Senate file number 3588.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the committee, before you is Senate File 3588, Unemployment for Striking Workers. For 50 years, our country has weakened the democratic rights of workers while reducing the responsibilities that corporations have to our society. That was the result of a conscious policy decision, and today we are choosing differently. I authored a bill to extend unemployment to our striking workers in Minnesota, because Minnesota has a strong economy, and because Minnesota has a strong economy because we have a strong workforce. And a strong workforce requires fair contracts. We recognize the pivotal role of collective action in enhancing pay and conditions, and draw inspiration from the successful strikes we've seen in recent years, like the UAW stand against major automakers. Yet, our nation's labor laws unduly favor employers, allowing tactics like lockouts with impunity, and we know that some employers believe that their deep pockets can help them win against their workers. We heard them say as much during the recent writers' strike, when a studio executive said that their goal is to wait out a strike until union members start losing apartments and their houses. Workers are already able to apply for UI benefits if they've stopped working because of a lockout, or if their employer has failed to comply with health and safety standards. This would expand eligibility to include workers who have been on strike for more than 2 weeks. Expanding unemployment eligibility in this way would provide stability and safety net for workers and their families, and it would incentivize employers to participate in a good faith negotiations with unions toward a solution that benefits everyone. Workers strike to fight for better conditions, for better working conditions for themselves and their coworkers, and they deserve to have a basic safety net when doing so. They don't want to rely on unemployment, which provides partial wage replacement and is no substitute for dignified, fairly compensated work. They want and deserve the economic security of a fair wage and good benefits for their families and for each other. Allowing workers the ability to negotiate on a level playing field will improve wages, workplace satisfaction, and employee retention. In the long run, this will be good for employers as well. And Mr. Chair, I think today you'll hear folks who will say this will incentivize workers to go on strike. We're talking about people who will strike for more than 2 weeks to be eligible for this because their employers refuse to come to the table and negotiate. And I think this is good for Minnesota's economy. So thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you, Senator Mohamed, for your opening statements. I understand that you have an A1 authors amendment. Is that correct?
That's right.
Would you like to offer that at this time?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to offer the A1 amendment.
All right, Senator Mohamed offers the A1 amendment. Senator Mohamed, can you tell us about the A1 amendment?
Yeah, so A1 amendment is mainly a technical change from deed, and they're here if they want to explain that. And then there's a part of at the end that includes workers who work in construction to also be included in this as well.
And this is the first stop for this bill, and it's being laid over. So any discussion on the A1 amendment? You don't have the A1 amendment? Okay, we need the A1 amendment. We'll pause for the A1 amendment. And while we're waiting for the others to receive the A1 amendment, we're going to go to Jake Switzer to give us his 2 minutes of testimony. That'll give us a little time. Mr. Switzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is Jake Schweitzer, but that's okay, Mr. Chair. Everyone gets it wrong. I am the Executive Director of North Star Policy Action. We're a think tank that promotes data-driven solutions to help working Minnesotans thrive. I'm here to speak in favor of Senate File 3588. One critical obstacle to making Minnesota a better state for working people is rising inequality. Between 2009 and 2021, corporate profits in the United States grew 3 times more than average earnings. In 1965, CEOs made 21 times more than their average worker. Today, they make 344 times more. When workers advocate for better pay to reduce this inequality, this is the reality they face. And if they attempt to use their most powerful tool, their ability to strike and withhold their labor, this is the imbalance that billionaire-backed corporations understand, that they can use their considerable profits to engage in bad faith negotiating tactics and simply wait out their poorly paid workers. Senator Mohamed alluded to this, but as one Hollywood executive put it during the recent writer's strike, quote, "The end game is to allow things to drag on until union members start losing their apartments and losing their houses," end quote. Workers should not be forced to choose between losing their homes and fighting for their dignity. To bring balance to this equation, Minnesota should follow the model of other states and expand unemployment insurance to cover striking workers. Doing so will provide workers with peace of mind, knowing that if they need to strike, they will have access to a small but essential level of assistance to protect their families from hardship. To evaluate the impact of this expansion, North Star analyzed the costs and benefits of the state taking this step. On the cost side, we found that providing striking workers with unemployment insurance would represent between just 0.2 and 0.3% of all UI claims paid out by the state. This minuscule cost is greatly overshadowed by the tremendous benefits of this change. These include alleviating the hardship that comes from unemployment and protecting the economy by ensuring that striking workers can continue buying goods to support their local communities.
Thank you so very much. You can say your last line, and then we'll have to go to our next testifier.
I can stop there. Thank you so much for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you, Mr. Schweitzer. We appreciate your testimony. We will now go to Bart Anderson, and we'll have Todd Dahlstrom come to the table as well. Okay. Mr. Anderson, if you'll state your name for the record and provide your 2 minutes of testimony. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon, members. My name is Bart Anderson. For the last 7 months, I have served as Interim Executive Director for AFSCME Council 5. On behalf of AFSCME Council 5, I'm here to strongly support the passage of Senate File 3588, which will make Minnesota the 3rd state where striking workers can have access to unemployment insurance benefits. I want to thank Senator Mohamed, Representative Berg, among others, for prioritizing the working people of our state. The decisions workers make when they collectively vote to go on strike are not taken lightly. It's one that comes with enormous financial consideration, and it's a tactic of last resort. Partial wage replacement provided through unemployment insurance will not change these facts. I know that from my own personal experience. Before my time working for AFSCME, I was an AFSCME member. I was a bridge inspector for the Department of Transportation, where I started in 1997. In 2001, the last time state employees went out on strike, I had a very young family at home. Something that was true then and still is to this day, childcare was not cheap. Luckily, that strike didn't go into a 3rd week, and thankfully the financial hardship my family experienced at the time didn't drag on. But it was difficult. Going 2 or 3 weeks without pay is really hard for any worker. And even under this proposal, having a strike go on longer than a few weeks, with the only financial support a worker will receive is 50% or less of their average weekly wage, going on strike will be financially challenging. But at least workers won't be starved back to work. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony. We will now ask Todd Dahlstrom. That is who went already, is that correct? And now we'll go to John Konzelman.
Bart,
Yes.
that was Bart. I'm Todd.
Todd, there you go. Let's go. Thank you so much. Welcome to the committee. State your name for the record.
Great. Todd Dahlstrom. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is Todd Dahlstrom. I'm the Organizing and Growth Director for the Minnesota AFL-CIO, the state's federation of more than 1,000 local unions who represent over 300,000 working people in every corner of our state and nearly every kind of job. I'm here to speak in favor of Senate File 3588. Our labor movement envisions a state where all working people have safe workplaces, a job that can sustain a family, time to spend with their families, and a dignified retirement. Both historically and to this day, workers taking collective action, including going on strike, has been the most effective way to move us closer to that vision. While strikes are the most effective tactic for workers to win gains, a strike also carries the most risk. Federal labor laws are tilted in favor of the employers, who can lock out and temporarily replace workers, stall negotiations, make threats, cut health care, and even more. For example, when managers lock workers out, they aren't making a personal sacrifice. They don't lose a penny of their pay or their health benefits. When workers decide to go on strike, it often means no pay for workers and their families for an uncertain amount of time. Mr. Chair and committee members, we can't change federal law here in St. Paul, but we can balance the skills for working Minnesotans by allowing workers to access unemployment insurance during a strike. Access to UI would not only keep food on the table for working families, but also mean shorter strikes. When managers know that workers have a lifeline, they lose the incentive. Once again, Bob Iger, from the CEO of Disney, said during the writer's strike, we can strive these workers out before going back to the table. Mr. Chair and Senators, let's continue making Minnesota the best state for workers by passing Senate File 3588. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Dahlstrom. We appreciate your testimony. Now we're going to John Councilman, and we'll also call up Chris Rubis, if he's here. All right. We will start while he's coming with Mr. Councilman. And if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, please correct me.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you to the committee. My name is John Councilman. I'm Secretary Treasurer of Local 125, United Auto Workers. I work at the Stellantis Parts Distribution Center in Plymouth, Minnesota. Been a UAW member for 27 years. I'm here to speak in favor of Senate File 3588, along with 145,000 of my fellow auto workers. A strike was initiated last week where a portion of us were actually on the picket line for 5 weeks in the months of September and October. Going on strike was the last resort to get my company to negotiate a fair contract. Even though we had a strike authorization vote of 98%, I don't know anyone that wanted to go on strike. The uncertainty of no or reduced income for an unknown amount of time was very stressful and worrying. We did get by on a small portion of assistance from our union strike fund, but if we didn't have that lifeline, it would have been even more difficult to provide some of the basic needs for our families. Since we had drastically reduced income, I was told that we all could have applied for emergency SNAP benefits, but we never had to go through that application process because we ended up getting a tentative agreement. The strike didn't have to take 5 weeks because these employers knew what their top offer was long before we went on strike. Managers didn't sacrifice a penny while they tried to starve us out. And despite pleading poverty for weeks, they ended up agreeing to a record 4-year contract, which provided another record profit-sharing check for all of us workers from the year of 2023 that averaged $13,800 per member. Our contract win led to wage increases across the auto industry for both union and non-union workers alike, because when union workers win at the negotiating table, all workers end up winning.
Mr. Councilman, thank you so very much. And now if you have one last sentence you want to say, you're more than welcome to say it, but I think we get the gist of it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Chris Rubitz, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, and if not, please correct me. And we would also have Jay Chatlin. Chatlin, all right, come to the table. Thank you so very much. We'll start with Chris Rubis.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is Chris Rubish. I'm a cardiac nurse and president of the Minnesota Nurses Association. In 2022, my wife, who's also a nurse, and I shared a major life event, the birth of our son, Oscar. Becoming new parents, we shared in many joys and, yes, some frustrations as we welcomed our kiddo. But for us, that wasn't the only major life event of 2022. That year, both my wife and I represented our coworkers in negotiations at our hospitals. Looking back at that time, we would probably say that we underestimated how challenging it would be for both of us to be on negotiating teams while raising an infant, but somehow we made it work. As the negotiations process went on, it looked increasingly likely that my wife and I would have to make the most difficult decisions of our professional lives, the decisions to vote to strike. Like many of our coworkers, we were scared, knowing that we would be risking losing 100% of our household income. These kitchen table conversations were not the ones we wanted to be having while learning how to be new parents. I'm grateful that in our case, after just a 3-day strike, we were able to reach a contract agreement. But in today's world of multinational corporations with billion-dollar valuations, the deck is increasingly being stacked against workers. This bill has the opportunity to provide workers with peace of mind, knowing that if they need to utilize a strike as a last resort, they will have access to a small but essential level of assistance. It is possible to negotiate with large corporations without the fear of irreversible financial harm. And to those who feel that, those who are scared that this bill will make it more likely for workers to strike, I have a solution. Negotiate with your workers to provide the kind of wages and working conditions that prevent strikes in the first place. I urge you to vote yes for workers and yes for this bill.
Thank you so much for your testimony. We are now going to Jay Chatlin, who's here, and Dean Benson, if you could join us at the table. Thank you, Mr. Chatlin. Go forward.
Good afternoon, Chairman Champion and members of the committee. My name is Jay Chatlin, and I am president of United Steelworkers Local 142B in Mankato. In July of 2023, myself and members were forced to go on strike because of unsafe working conditions and the employer's unwillingness to bargain in good faith. My employer refused to implement safety measures to provide safe working conditions for myself and my colleagues. The overall OSHA recordable rate for the foundry I work in was at 14%, with some departments having OSHA recordable rate as high as 98.98%. My employer utilized a behavioral-based safety program to drive down their OSHA recordable rate. Behavioral-based safety programs use discipline, threats of discipline, and monetary bonuses to discourage reporting of injuries. This approach rarely addresses safety hazards in the workplace. Prior to the expiration of our contract, we actively tried to make changes to the safety culture in the foundry. The employer repeatedly told us, if it isn't broken, why fix it? But when you have an OSHA recordable rate injury of 98.98, it's clearly broken. When we started contract negotiations, we made it clear that safety was our #1 priority. Our employer refused to bargain over safety and continued to respond with, if it's not broken, why fix it? Even when we could clearly show that the program was broken. Employees literally had to choose between paying their bills or going on strike to protect themselves from being injured. We ultimately made the choice to go on strike, but I can tell you that was a very hard decision. Long story short, the strike lasted for 11 days, and we were able to secure language that drastically changed safety culture. Without this strike, it would never have happened. Employees should never have to make a choice between paying their bills or working in an unsafe workplace. This legislation would allow workers to strike for a safer workplace while being able to feed their families.
Thank you so very much.
I support this legislation.
One last sentence?
I support this legislation and would ask you to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your testimony. We're now going to Dean Benson, and also will ask Katina Taylor to come to the testifiers table. Mr. Benson, go forward.
Mr. Chair and committee members, my name is Dean Benson, and I'm a proud retiree of Teamsters Local 120, and I'm here to speak in favor of Senate File 3588. I've worked at the Marathon St. Paul Park Refinery for 19 years and retired in 2023. As many of you know, I was locked out of my job in 2021 with 200 of my union brothers and sisters. The lockout turned into a strike, and it lasted 6 months. We won that fight, but only because we had the support we needed to keep the fight on. That isn't always the case, because Marathon did what many large corporations do when their workers are seeking a fair contract. They tried to starve us out. If they kept us from working long enough, they believed we would be desperate and get back to work. So desperate we'd ignore all our grievances and just to get a paycheck again. This isn't an anomaly. This is the playbook for strikebreakers. The thing is, when workers go on strike, the stakes are very different for both sides. Corporate bosses get mean phone calls, upset shareholders, and annoyed customers. The hardworking men and women get tough decisions about putting food on the table, medicine in their cabinets, and a roof over their head. We went on strike at Marathon because we knew our workplace wasn't safe enough, because we wanted to know that we were going to come home from work to see our families each day. We didn't make the choice lightly. Strikes were always the last option on the table, but we did it for the safety of our colleagues and for the community around the refinery. This legislation would make it easier for those in similar situations to fight for the safety of themselves and others. It would make it harder for corporations to starve out workers who are asking for safe and healthy workplaces, for a living wage, or for more dignity in their work. It would also ensure that labor disputes are settled at the negotiating table, not at the workers' kitchen table. So I ask you guys, as you think about this bill and which way you're going to vote, do you support the act of starving out hardworking families, or should we level the playing field? with this legislation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your testimony. We'll now go to Katina Taylor, and while Katina Taylor is testifying, we'll ask Lisa Schaefer to come to the testifiers table. Are you here, Lisa? All right. So Katina Taylor,
Thank you so much. Good
identify yourself
afternoon.
for the record and go forward.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is Katina Taylor, and I am the president of the Educational Support Professionals chapter of the Minneapolis Federation of Teachers, Local 59 in Minneapolis. We represent over 1,500 paraprofessionals in Minneapolis Public Schools. I'm here to speak in favor of Senate File 3588. We have a slogan in our local that one job should be enough, and that's a goal of ours. However, sadly, for our members, one job is not enough to sustain a family in Minneapolis, and most of our members work 2 and 3 jobs. We're currently in negotiations right now for higher pay, more hours, and automatic step movement. And our members are counting on our bargaining team to come back to them with a settlement that will help them stay at Minneapolis Public Schools or in Minneapolis. However, just like we did 2 years ago, for the first time in over 52 years, if we don't see any movement from our employer, we may have to consider a strike. And as an ESP, I can tell you that going on strike is a very scary thing. What got us through the last one was our village of support from families and community members. And honestly, no interest loans and a modest strike fund. But I can tell you that unemployment insurance in the case of a long strike, as ours became, would have given us even more confidence in being able to have our bargaining teams back and members to eat. As you know, in the labor dispute, the employer has the upper hand and is basically...
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. If you have one, you want to finish out that sentence, not your thought, just the sentence, that'll be fine.
Sure. This bill would at least begin to balance the scale for workers who are standing up for themselves and often for the whole community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have Lisa Schaefer at the table. We have Sarah Gauntlet, who you could come forward. And I'd like to say to the members of the public, sirs, standing up against the wall, you're not allowed to be there. Just so that the public knows that you're not supposed to come beyond this desk, okay? Thank you so very much. Ms. Schaefer, you are there, and Sarah is on deck. Please go forward with your 2 minutes, Ms. Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Lisa Schaefer, and I'm the Director of Human Resources for the League of Minnesota Cities. I'd first like to recognize the unique differences in public sector bargaining, and Minnesota has a long history of effective collective bargaining within Minnesota. This overall has led to reduced strikes and best balancing the needs of taxpayers, the workers who do the work, and the cities that need to perform the work as well. Public sector employees provide services that are critical to the safety of the community, and these needs don't go away if the public is in strike or if the employees are on strike. The city still needs to provide emergency response for things like water main breaks, sewer backups, or even clearing snow to make sure that emergency vehicles and ambulances can get to the people who need the help. But unlike businesses, cities and most public sector employees in Minnesota are what is called a reimbursing employer, which means that they do not pay unemployment insurance premiums. Instead, they pay the full cost of unemployment insurance to its employees. So in the case of this bill, this would mean that cities would be responsible for paying employees who are striking 50% of their wages, in addition to still responding to emergencies through other means for the duration of the strike. And any strike is incredibly painful on all sides. Cities have a responsibility and a need to provide fair wages that effectively attract and retain employees. They also have the additional responsibility of balancing the needs of the community and the effective use of available tax dollars. So it really is in the city's interest to come to an agreement whenever it's possible to avoid a strike.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
We'll now go to Sarah Gauntlet, and on deck, if we will have Mike Bartos, if you'll come to the testifier table. Is Mike with us? All right, come on to the table, sir. And we'll start with Sarah Gauntlet. Please identify yourself for the record and provide your 2 minutes of testimony.
Yes, Chair and members, my name is Sarah Gallett, and I'm a short-hour food service
And move a
worker.
little closer to your mic.
Yes. I'm a short-hour food service worker from Hastings. I was part of the Hastings food service strike last year. That's why I'm here today in supporting this bill. Before starting the Hastings Public Schools, I was a stay-at-home mom living with a disability. I thought food service would be a perfect job for me because of the short hours and the schedule that matches my kids. My son goes to the middle school where I work. Our starting wages are $13.85 an hour, less than McDonald's or most places. No one wants to strike, but I favored the strike because we deserve better. Our jobs deserve respect and appreciation. I started my job in October and felt like I had finally gotten my head above water. Then we went on strike on February 6th. Being without my school income hurt, and the support my union could offer through the strike just wasn't enough. The district could have ended the strike at any time. We are only about $150,000 apart in negotiations at one of the school board meetings. During the strike, contractor who was installing signs in front of the different schools came in and said that they thought the signs would look better if the rocks in the signs matched the color of the bricks in the building. But it would cost another $150,000. District management was happy to spend more on rocks, but not on the caring adults who nourish our children. This bill would help workers like me stand up and fight for what we deserve and encourage you to support it, please.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for your testimony. We'll now go to Mike Bartos, and on also at the testifier's desk, we will have Jared Matuga. I think that is the correct name. And once you get there and it's time for you to testify, then you can correct me. All right, Mike Bartos, 2 minutes of testimony. Identify yourself for the record.
My name's Michael Bartos. I'm a janitor, proud member of SEIU Local 26. Chair and members of the committee, the balance of power between workers and employers is disproportionately tilted towards the latter. Non-union labor has no bargaining power whatsoever, no say over the rate of pay or benefits, but even unionized labor, especially low-wage labor, faces long odds when bargaining for livable wages and benefits. Our main leverage as union members is to stop working, is to strike, and even in this case, the employer has the advantage. The employer and management can keep putting food on the table for their families, they can keep paying their bills, keep making their mortgage payments. Striking workers are not afforded this luxury. Striking workers, especially low-wage workers, are at immediate risk of not being able to put food on the table, not being able to pay the bills, their debts, and unable to make rent on time. I know this firsthand. I've struck 4 times, most recently as a janitor with SEIU Local 26 just last week. In the lead up to the strike, I heard from many would-be strikers that they simply couldn't afford to miss any pay. This meant they couldn't leverage their power to strike and win more for themselves and their family. They weakened their bargaining power and ability to gain a livable wage and benefits. I know the employers are well aware of our wage dependency and that they exploit our wage dependence to their advantage by simply waiting us out. They simply wait for us to succumb to hunger and the threat of eviction. UI would go a long way toward achieving balance between labor and employer during the bargaining process and give workers a fair fighting chance to gain livable wages and benefits. I ask you to vote yes on this bill. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for your testimony. We'll now go to Jared Matuga, and on at the testifier table, we're also looking for Terry Morrow. Is Terry Morrow with us? Okay, if you join us at the testifiers table, we'll now go to Jared Matuga.
Thank you, Mrs. Chair. My name is Jared Mituga. I'm a registered nurse in the nursing home. I've been in the long-term care for the last 24 years. I take care of the old elderly in the nursing homes. Last week, I was part of the 1,000 striking workers of the nursing home because we were looking for better wages and better working conditions. It was only for 24 hours, and it was hard. Our members were scared. What if it was longer? How could they afford to put food on their table and pay bills? So we support this bill because if we had gone 1 week longer, it would have been financially unsustainable for us to be on the strike for longer than 1 day. So we support this bill because we're looking to have a level playing field, so we're able to support our families as much as we want to support our clients who are the elderly in the nursing homes. So please vote yes to support the bill, and we thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony. It's good to see now that we have the appearance of Terry Morrow, who was former Representative Terry Morrow. I knew that the person who was sitting in the chair did not resemble you in any shape, form, or fashion, but it's good to see you now. Former Representative Terry Morrow, please give your testimony. 2 minutes, sir. I know representatives like to talk longer, but you're given 2 minutes. It's good to see you.
Yes, sir, and it's good to see you as well. My name is Terry Morrow. I'm the Legal and Policy Director for the Minnesota School Boards Association. And I want to note that there was also a hearing this morning, which I was able to sit in, and I want to make it very clear that all our school districts, all 331, respect our staff, and the experiences that have been shared in these hearings are real experiences that I'm taking to heart and understanding well. I want to focus on the unique way in which this bill would affect Minnesota students in schools. Under Minnesota unemployment law, the state pays the benefits to the employee, then the school district reimburses the state. Want to be very clear about that because that will be an expense to the district, pay back the state for the unemployment benefits. So I'd like to give you a hypothetical. If there were a teacher strike causing classes to be canceled, the schools would pay the unemployment benefit for the strike days. But we still need to serve the students and reschedule those days that were missed because of the strike. So now the district's paying for the unemployment benefit and is paying for the full day of school when those makeup days occur. Depending how the strike goes in terms of length and the budget, the district may not be able to cover both payments, the unemployment payment and the staff payment for the makeup days. Property taxpayers would end up seeing a tax increase because under Minnesota law, districts can levy for the unemployment benefits, but please keep in mind that districts don't get that levy money for more than a year after the strike occurs. So again, schools are unique. Our school board members aren't receiving profit sharing, not receiving the type of compensation that was correctly described from other organizations. For that reason, I would ask the committee today to consider, and I would ask the author to please consider the way that school districts would be affected uniquely under this bill, especially school districts that are operating already under tight budgets.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morrow. Thank you for your testimony. And thank you to all those who have testified. Before I get to specific questions, we have the A1 amendment now that should have been distributed to the committee. This is an author's amendment. Senator Pratt.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I was just wondering if Senator Mohamed or Mr. Fontaine can kind of walk through the key changes in the amendment, since it's at the lead all.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Senator Pratt. So, Counsel, Carlin Fontaine.
Mr. Chair, members, and Senator Pratt, the way that it was originally drafted would not have worked for, as the deed unemployment staff read it. And so this really is technical assistance from the department, and it would do the same thing as the intent of the original bill. It would just, prior to this language in front of you, a striking worker would is ineligible, and now it would say they're not ineligible if they have stopped working because of a labor dispute. It wouldn't be considered a quit or a suspension. And so this just makes it so that the deed would be able to administer it, but the intent is not different to allow striking workers to be eligible, that they're not ineligible for unemployment benefits.
Any questions on the A1 amendment? The A1 amendment was offered by Senator Mohamed. Any other questions on the A1 amendment? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. The A1 is adopted. Now, we've heard from all the testifiers. Now, any questions from the committee? Remember, this bill is being laid over for possible inclusion. Senator Draheim.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Senator Mohamed, for bringing the bill forward. Obviously, a very popular topic, but it is a balancing act whenever we change our unemployment insurance, and it's been a bumpy ride for that fund, over the last 3-4 years. So I am cautious to make changes with the money we had to put into that fund, and then what it does do to the rest of the businesses in the state. We need to keep that fund healthy to make sure we provide that resource for workers. But I just want to react a little bit, Chair, if I could, to some of the comments made.
You may. Senator Draheim.
Okay, thank you. We heard some of the exorbitant pay for some of the Wall Street CFOs, if you will. But not everybody that has union workers are in that category, like school superintendents. In my district, I have 21 different schools, districts that touch my district. The school where my kids went or go to, their pay might be double of a high-end teacher, not 344 times. So I think we have to be careful when we're using generalizations like that, and as you work on this bill through the process. The numbers will tell a story, and we have to wait till we get those numbers from the nonpartisan staff. So I really won't get into that, but I want to make sure you remember it's more than just corporations that would be affected by this. It would be a lot of nonprofits or not-for-profit institutions that would also be affected, that don't have that pay scale. And then, Senator Mohamed, when I had two grandpas that worked at Hormel in Austin, Minnesota, and very strong supporters of the union in Austin. And anybody knows the history of Hormel know that they had a strike or two over their time there. And part of their union dues went to a fund to help pay for that what if there was a strike, to provide for the family. What can you just explain what has changed from even my dad, who was very involved at the university in the union there, AFL-CIO. My mom was a teacher. She was active in the union at the local level. So I just like to get caught up on why the union dues aren't paying for that security blanket that they used to have.
Senator Mohamed.
That's a really good question. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Senator Draheim. So I think it's important to name a few things. I think what you heard from me and others today is sort of talking about what corporations do. But, in Minneapolis, we saw the largest teacher strike in a long time. And our teachers were striking for longer than they should have, right? Because they wanted better conditions. They wanted, the administration to come to the table and to bargain with them. So I think what this bill does is, if somebody's striking for 3 days, they're not going to be paid unemployment. If they're striking well over a week, then they will be, and they will be eligible for it. And I think that was the intent of when we created the unemployment fund, was to help support our workers who aren't, getting the funds that they should, that want to work, should be able to receive that. So in your case, your grandfather, if they were striking well over a week, they will be eligible in this case. As far as why the union isn't paying into it, the union does pay into, they do have their own system of paying for things, and I'll let Brian answer that because he is much better at it than I am.
It looks like we have Brian Elliott, who's come to the table. If you identify yourself for the record, and then answer Senator Draham's question. Thank you. Brian Elliott, welcome to the committee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. For the record, again, my name is Brian Elliott with the Service Employees International Union, Minnesota State Council. To Senator Draham's question, many unions do provide for strike funds from the dues that their members are paying in. The simple matter is that the dues that members pay in to those strike funds only last for a finite period of a strike. And as Senator Mohamed said, the qualifying striking workers for unemployment insurance still requires the non-payable week that all workers endure. And as we know, most strikes do not extend past a few days for the very reasons that many of the testifiers here stated.
All right. Any other questions? Senator Draham, follow-up?
Thank you. And thank you for your response. So looking at the bill, there's some timelines in there that kind of start the unemployment. So can you just go into what the average union would have kind of days in reserve to help the workers out till this would kick in? Do they line up?
To the testifier, Brian Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the question, it is hard to say. It varies quite dramatically from local to local. And the size of the fund, of course, is dependent on the number of members who go out on strike as a proportion of the number of members in the union, because all of the members aren't usually going out on strike at a time.
Senator Ham for follow-up.
Thank you. So would you say it's comparable to the unemployment insurance at 50% of pay, or for a week, 2 weeks?
To the testifier, Brian Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I can get back to you on specific numbers for my union. I'm unfortunately unable to speak for other unions in terms of the size of their strike funds. But the idea, we are at the Service Employees International Union, a union of low-wage workers. And so while the strike fund, because of the proportion of dues are proportional to wages, the strike funds for low-wage unions can often be smaller. And when, as happened last week, for almost 5,000 workers of one of our locals went out on strike for 3 days, that it just, the strike fund is more about a hardship fund than it is anything else.
Any additional follow-up questions? Senator Drahan. All right. Any other questions? Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I can't remember who said it, but they were talked about many other states that had similar provisions. Can somebody tell me what those states are?
Senator Mohamed. It was a testifier who said that if Minnesota was to pass this bill.
Yeah, New York.
Bart Anderson. Is Bart Anderson still with us?
New York has it, and there are 6 other states that are trying it right now, in New Jersey as well.
All right.
So currently 2 other states have it and 6 others are trying out. And California also tried it, but the governor vetoed in that state.
All right. Senator Pratt.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and I had to, and I think both with 14-day waiting periods as part of it. But Mr. Chair, you know, we can talk about the Fortune 100 companies and what they'll do, right? But I think what we've heard here today is this isn't going to hurt the Fortune 100 companies. This isn't going to bring them to the table. This is going to hurt our local employers. It's going to hurt the car dealer I've got in my district who employs about 24 UAW workers. He's not holding out. He's not trying to starve anybody out. He's not making any money if his workers go on strike. He's got every incentive to try to settle this thing, and sometimes we get in these impasses. And I think it's important for us to remember, Mr. Chair, I keep wanting to call you Mr. President in this venue. It's getting hard with your 2 titles. But Mr. Chair, this is straight off the state website. Unemployment insurance provides benefits to workers who become unemployed through no fault of their own. And while I appreciate that the decision to strike is a very difficult decision, I'm not trying to undermine that in any way. But the decision to strike is a decision that is made voluntarily. I can't remember which testifier said, I was trying to scribble notes down on so many of these, that they're talking to their families. These are, you know, before a worker votes to strike, they're sitting at the kitchen table with their wife or husband trying to figure out, you know, how they're going to make ends meet, right? And I appreciate that that's a very difficult decision. But having served on a school board, I also understand that it becomes very difficult for local communities. And during my high school career, our teachers went on strike. And we had at the time the longest teacher strike in Minnesota state history. Our school district wasn't trying to starve them out. They were actively negotiating all along. Now we've got schools that are threatening to go on strike after we've provided a record amount of funding. And the reason that they can't come to an agreement is because we put 65 new mandates on our school districts that tell them how to spend the money. I can tell you the Prior Lake School District, the one I served on, is looking to cut $5 million from their budget after record funding from this legislature. Not because they don't want to pay their staff a reasonable, fair wage. It's because they can't afford to. Thanks to the actions that were put on by the DFL trifecta. So, and we took a cut at that, putting additional pressure on school districts by changing the unemployment rule for seasonal workers, and then explicitly saying they couldn't levy for those expenses. As Mr. Morrow said, they can levy for these expenses, put those back on the taxpayer and help reimburse it. But we made an explicit exclusion for summer employment that those reimbursable expenses had to come out of their operating budget. So I guess, Mr. President, or Mr. Chair, that, you know, I want to bring this conversation back to where it really belongs, right? Bob Iger doesn't care what happens in Minnesota. My car dealer does. My school district does. My city does. My local manufacturers do, who hire union workers. The long-term care Mr. Matuga. I appreciate his work in the long-term care industry. I serve on a long-term care board. And we try to do the best we can for our employees, but quite honestly, the reimbursement rates don't cover the cost that it takes to provide services. And is that the fault of the local long-term care facility? Or is that the fault of the state? I think we need to look long and hard at the policy decisions that have been made over the last year around why this bill is coming in front of us. And let's recognize that this isn't about the Bob Igers, and it's not about the Jeff Bezos, and it's not about the Elon Musk. It's about, as Senator Draheim said, about our local school districts and our local employers who do in fact enter into contracts because they see benefit from union participation. They get well-trained workers that help their bottom line. It's a win-win relationship in many cases. And I just think, Mr. Chair, that this is a bill that I appreciate isn't moving forward today, but I think needs a lot more discussion before it gets much more traction or decides to move, because there are a lot of unintended consequences that would be the result of passing something like this. Thank you.
Senator Mohamed, you can give us your brief closing comments, and then the bill is going to be laid over for possible inclusion, and we're going to adjourn because members have to go other places. Senator Mohamed.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'll give you my closing comments, and I'll respond to Senator Pratt's comments for just a quick second. Workers do not strike lightly or voluntarily. We're not just talking about corporations. We're talking about the largest teachers' strike in Minneapolis. We're talking about the people who work in our automakers striking for the first time. We are seeing historical strikes across the country because workers are tired of being treated like crap. And if we're going to be honest and use small employers to our advantage in this conversation and say we're hurting them, no, we're not. We're helping them, and we're giving them a reason to negotiate with their employees. What we're talking about are people who are struggling, who you heard from, who are working in some of the worst conditions. And you know what? Employers would not have companies without these workers. Our economy is good because of them. And so it is, I often talk about my mom who doesn't, lives in Minneapolis but works in Chaska at a food factory, who gets treated like crap because she doesn't speak English. Those are the people we're talking about. And so when those people speak up and they say, I want to continue working here, but can you give me a better working condition? Can you give me a better pay? Can you give me health care? They have the right to do that because, I'm sorry, but your company or whatever your job is functioning because of them. And so it is a two-way street. It's a power imbalance, and we have to do the right thing, and that's our job. And this is our job because, as state legislators, people who work and run our state are the workers, and they're coming to us for the first time, and they're telling us, we're striking, we need more, we need help, and that's why we're stepping up to do their job and help them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, Senate File 3588, as amended, will be laid over for possible inclusion. Thank you. Members, that concludes our business for this meeting. The committee is now adjourned.